It's 4 o'clock on a Monday, and you know what that means, don't you? It's time for another exciting episode of Taxi TV Live. Wow. I am having a day of technical difficulties, but I think I've got them all worked out. Let me get my microphone down a little lower, and then I'll say hello to you guys. Sound. There we go. All right. Hello, everybody. How are you? Welcome to this week's episode of Taxi TV. And this week we are going to do You Are in the A&R Hot Seat. We are going to listen to some submissions to Taxi. We're not going to identify who the people are because we don't want to embarrass anybody or hurt anybody's feelings. But we are going to play some forwards and some returns. I'm not going to tell you which we are doing. And you guys are going to vote if it's a forward or a return. And we'll see if you line up with what the screener decided on each of these. We're going to do one that's an instrumental and another one that's singer-songwriter. Hello, everybody in the chat room. See, the band is all here. Yay. Wow. Good to see everybody. Hello. I want to remind you guys, don't forget the Taxi Road Rally coming up the weekend of November 7th through the 10th. And we are already, even though we're a little more than 3 months out, we're already 25% booked up. So make sure that if you don't know about the Road Rally, go to taxi.com/rally. Whoops, let me mute my phone. Taxi.com/rally and reserve your free seats now. Every Taxi member gets a free seat for them, him or herself, and one for a guest of their choosing. That's it. All right, so let's get started. The first one we're going to check out is, this is for listing number S240612UP. Lots of emotionally uplifting piano and string instrumentals or instrumental cues are needed by an impressive music licensing company with lots of film and TV placements. Company is looking for a bunch of instrumentals and or cues in a general stylistic ballpark of the following references. Unfortunately, I can't play the references. We might have some copyright issues, and so we avoid playing the references, sadly. Please submit original, well-performed piano and string instrumentals and or cues with a hopeful, inspiring sound and lots of happy ending type vibes. I'm pretty sure they mean the classic interpretation of happy ending, not the street version. Your submission should have beautiful arrangements, inspiring musical performances, emotionally uplifting motifs, and lots of forward motion and interest throughout. Piano and strings are both a must, but some light additional instrumentation in the general stylistic ballpark of the references could also work. Such as soft pads, percussion, cymbal swells, etc. Please be sure that all virtual instruments or samples used are high quality and very realistic sounding. Your submission should be roughly 1.5 minutes long for cues, about 2 to 4 minutes long for instrumentals, give or take. Non-faded button sting or endings will work best. Please do not copy the reference, blah, blah, blah. That's all boilerplate stuff. So with all that said, okay, let us listen to this one, the first one we're going to hear. Remember, you're listening, and don't start voting yet. You're going to vote after the fact, and Liz will tally up to see if you guys got it right or not. So hold your horses and don't vote just yet. Okay, going to it. And this first one is called In My Thoughts, In My Arms. Let me know if the level is good for you guys. Wow, the audience really liked that one. All right, so here's what you're going to do. If you would forward it, type an F. If you would return it, type an R. F for a forward, R for return. How's that for like a really good idea? I think you guys came up with that actually. Wow, look at all those votes pouring in. I love when we do these episodes. It makes me feel like a little throwback back to the days of the quarantini happy hours. I wish we had another lockdown, not associated with a deadly virus, but just a lockdown. I really enjoyed. Katrina says, tough audience. No kidding. Anyway, I think about the quarantini happy hours, I don't know, once or twice a month, and get quite nostalgic. I will say, the screener who worked on this, I don't know if it's the same screener on all these, we'll find out, but it's one of our very, very, very best. I can't disclose who it is, but it's a screener that conducts live orchestras and does really big projects. And we're very, very, very fortunate to have him. You guys are fortunate to get feedback from him. We don't need a lockdown to justify having a quarantini happy hour. I agree. It's just whenever the quarantini happy hour forced me to come up with ideas for shows every day, and I didn't put so much pressure on myself because I felt like you guys would understand. You know, I was coming up with an hour-long show every day, and there were plenty of days, believe me, where I had no idea, and I'd go, oh my gosh, you know, we're going live in 5 minutes. I'd run upstairs and brush my teeth, come downstairs, look at a stack of books next to the desk I was broadcasting from, open a book, literally just like thumb through, find a page, go, oh, there's a good idea. I know how to talk about that, and start the show. All right, we had 13 forwards and 18 returns. Bradley Hoggins, sorry I'm late. It's okay. We'll get your note from the principal later. But thank you for saying that. Okay, 13 forwards, 18 returns, and it was returned. Let's see what the screener had to say. The screener said, the piano sounds better in this range. So I would guess that the screener had heard another piece by this taxi member. Maybe the member submitted 2 or 3, but so you'd like the piano sound better in this range. I think you could improve this song by, you still need layering to help all the sounds you're using. Okay. And the last box is, I returned or forwarded this song because besides the layering, the volume control on the legato strings will also help achieve better realism. And the only checkbox on the lower part under additional things I noticed were under recording and production, song, instrument sounds, or samples sounded dated or of a lower quality. So there you go. Strings too synthy? Apparently the screener felt so. It's funny, everybody's talking about the strings. Needs to end on a root note. Marion says, I think they sounded okay, although not as good as they could have. So you guys didn't agree with the screener, right? We had 18 forwards? Or no, we had 13 forwards, 18 returns. All right, so 13 of you. We should have screen. Have we done? We've done that before. Maybe should I do that at the rally this year? We have some screeners up on the stage and do live critiques, and you guys vote as well. Would that be fun to do, or educational? I know it'd be fun, but should I do that in the ballroom? Anyway, All right, let's. I'm going to reread the listing just to refresh. I'll give you the salient points here. Emotionally uplifting piano and string instrumentals and/or instrumental cues needed by an impressive music licensing company with lots of film and TV placements. Looking for a bunch of instrumentals. By the way, when we say a bunch, we mean a bunch. Sometimes they're looking for just one thing that they've got a slot that they're pitching on to a supervisor, and they need a handful, and they're going to find one or two to forward to the supervisor. Other times they're like adding to a category, a genre in their library, or refreshing one that's grown stale or long in the tooth over the years. So if we have a strong sense because of the way they're running the listing, if they're looking for a lot, we tell you that. If they're not, we don't. What about the composition? The screener didn't say anything about the composition. Personally, going back and reflecting on it a little bit, I would say that it was a little repetitive, but that's just, I would have to listen again to be sure. Martin Frog says, pleasure to listen to, but not enough of a developmental arc as long as it could have been built with more emotion. It did sound uplifting. Peter Rahill says, sounds uplifting. It did. It had a nice vibe to it. It was, I think there was the word hopeful in the listing, and this felt a little hopeful. Kind of like a new day. There we go, with hopeful, inspiring sound, lots of happy ending type vibes, emotionally uplifting, lots of forward motion, interest throughout. Okay, little light additional instrumentation if that's your thing. Okay, that one is done. Moving on. This one is called, where's the title? The Soaring the Stars. I'm so confused. Oh, I played the right one, right? All right, so cast your votes. I'm so confused today. I'm having a bad day, I've got to admit. It's like I'm having technical problems. Just every kind of little problem one could have. And normally these shows are pretty easy to do. Anyway, cast your votes. F for a forward, R for a return. Question from Bruce Capaferri. When the screener is such a high-level pro, like an orchestral conductor, might he, she be too critical? No, because he or she has a vast amount of experience doing stuff that's not big orchestral stuff. Like most people that graduate that level, they came up through the music library system, I guess I would call it. So no, this person knows music library work really, really well. Would I read the listing one more time? I would be more than happy to, Christoph. Lots of emotionally uplifting piano and string instrumentals or cues needed by an impressive music licensing company with lots of film and TV placements. Please submit original, well-performed piano and string instrumentals with a hopeful, inspiring sound and lots of happy ending type vibes. Your submission should have beautiful arrangements, inspiring musical performances, emotionally uplifting motifs, and lots of forward motion and interest throughout. Piano and strings are both a must, but some light additional instrumentation in the general stylistic ballpark of the references could also work, such as soft pads, percussion, cymbal swells, etc. Please be sure that all virtual instruments and samples used are high quality. Nothing else that really it's all boilerplate stuff on the rest. So, let's see. Liz is totaling, I believe. I feel like a teacher grading papers here. Excuse me. You revise your vote to an R. Okay, we'll remember that. Okay, 16 forwards and 20 returns. Make that, or 23 returns, make that 24, unless Liz got that one in there from Kent Wall, who revised. Which string libraries are recommended to avoid sounding dated? I would ask that question on the Taxi forum at forums.taxi.com. The reason is it really depends on the piece. There's some libraries that are recorded more close mic, some that are more far mic, bigger rooms, smaller rooms. I know a lot of people who are really into it will blend sounds from libraries. They may like the cellos from one library and the violins from another. And a lot of it has to do with how well you use the libraries. Dean Crepane is one of our most successful members of all time. And a lot of the stuff he uses is really old and out of date to the point of being laughable. But he has learned to use it so well over so many years of using it that it just sounds incredible. By the way, Monday is garbage truck day. When do they come? About 4:15. What do you hear driving by behind my beautiful recording studio? A garbage truck. All right, too predictable, too common. So it was actually a forward. Let's see. I have a solo bow for guitar. I don't know what that means. Russell Cameron says too predictable. Arpeggio is too repetitive, not emotionally expressive enough. Let's see if the screener had any feedback. Screener, more good writing in the style. Apparently he's also heard other stuff from this member in this batch. You've done a nice job with these cues. Good stuff. Excellent understanding of the brief. Good writing and production all the way. Nice job with the listing. That's it. Screener gave it a forward. Did not agree with some of you. But that's why we're doing this. Peter Rahill says if it's for background, too much of an attractive melody might be a distraction. It depends on the context, but it didn't say if it was featured or background source or anything. So the member just did what the member did. And it would be up to the music supervisor to make that judgment call if it works in the background, if it was too busy. Too predictable, too common. I said that already. Didn't lift me enough from I Am Carol. What makes the strings pop? The French horn. It's unreal what it can do. Marion Laird-Dean's compositions, the way he uses VSTs are awesome. I agree. Patrick would want a remix. Whoa. Yeah, it's all the same screener so far. I'll let you know if we bump into a different screener. And just to answer a question that may come up, is it depends how many submissions we get in, how available the screeners are. All those things kind of go into the blend of who works on what. Obviously, the most important thing is, are they specifically qualified and tested and certified by TAXI to do that genre? The example I give all the time is we've got different screeners working on country songs for records and radio. Those screeners are virtually all, I think one may not be in Nashville, but a couple of them, maybe several of them, are actually people working on the row in Nashville. And then when we've got screeners screening for country music for film and TV, it's a whole different thing. You don't want the visual detail and the lyrics that you would find in a hit song in Nashville. So we can't use the Nashville screeners on country for film and TV, and the same thing is true in the other direction. We don't use country screeners who are qualified and tested for film and TV country to do any of the stuff in Nashville. So we really go to every extent possible to make sure that you guys are... I don't understand some of the stuff in here. Oh, well. Bradley Hoggins surprised, saying there's so many awesome composers in TAXI that are good at this kind of brief. Martin Frog liked the amount of build and lifts. Would work for most Hallmark movies. I agree. Come on over, Martin. Let's hang out, eat some popcorn, and watch some Hallmark movies together. The Hallmark movies are where actors and actresses that were popular 15 years ago go to continue making a living. God bless them. Okay, so let me make sure I don't throw one away. That one's done. Okay, moving on. Now we are going to listen to one that is called Just Take a Moment. Well, let's do that. Let's take a moment and have a listen. Boy, arpeggios are popular today. I'm not going to do the applause because it's just so like jarring after hearing that. Cast your vote. F for a forward, R for a return, and Liz will total them up. Maybe the ref tunes were arpeggio based. Good point, Kent. I wish I could play. It would be so much better. I haven't seen that many F's since I was in high school. Robert Stoner, you are standing alone outside the classroom full of F students with the only R so far. All right, Liz, you don't even have to total this one up. I'll save you the trouble of counting. This one was definitely a forward. I mean, it seemed pretty obvious. Robert Stoner, I'm curious, what about it made you feel like it was a return? I am curious. It is funny how we all do hear things differently when you're looking, you know? It's the only good place to get an F, that's true. I'd kill to hear a second dominant. Maybe he or she, the composer, is trying to keep it simple? Oh. The sound selection was superior, and that matters. The screener said, again, same screener, super high quality person. Great opening, really sets up the track nicely. I think you could improve this song by nothing to add here. It's what the screener wrote. I returned or forwarded this song because it's really nicely done. Good match for this listing. How much better do we all like these when they're short? They don't need a radio song. They need a good 2 to 3 minutes. That's true. All right. Nothing else from the screener on that one. Alrighty. That was called, okay, just take a moment. Excellent job by the anonymous taxi member for that. I'm looking to see if Robert Stoner is going to let me know why he wouldn't forward it. Maybe he's in the restroom or something. Sounded good on your iPhone? Timpani, how dare you listen on your iPhone to these masterful works? Okay, next one up. This one is called Quiet Hope. We are going to do some with lyrics in a few minutes. Okay, F for a forward, R for return. You know the drill. Liz will count them up. Interesting comments. See, I have inside information, so I'm sitting here going, they picked up on that, or they didn't pick up on that. I am playing with my air conditioning. I am doing a factory reset on my Nest thermostat as soon as this show is over. It is not cooperating at all. All right, so some of your comments felt like we got teased and never uplifted. Interesting. A lot of returns in there. This one's tougher. Wandering dynamics. Bradley Hagen, I'm going with a solid F. Isn't it funny how we all associate F with failure, but in this case it doesn't mean that. It'd be easier to post a listing in the chat, then anyone can open and read if they want. If Liz can do that, I'm all for it. That's a good suggestion. Thanks, Andre. Boring can be just right for background soundscape under dialogue. That's true. Remember, music is rarely the star. I would guess that many uses, if not most uses for something like this, would be when somebody is having a thoughtful period, or somebody's going for a walk and they're thinking. It feels thoughtful, right? Like, new day is coming, wonder what it'll be like. Some variation in tempo would have been really nice and expressive. Jilly, we're going to do some singer-songwriter stuff in a few minutes. Several of you guys were talking about the piano velocity, how the variations were nice, but then when you started thinking about it, I saw the conversation heading towards the fact that it might have been a little too much. Bradley Hagen, someone understands velocities on instruments. What was the emotion needed? Uplifting? Yeah. Pretty and gentle. It's true. That was pretty and gentle. I mean, even the ones that have been returned today have not sucked by any. So 4 people forwarded, 27 returned. Those of you who voted for return on this one get an A+, because it was in fact returned. And let's see what this extremely qualified taxi screener. If you guys want, we can use less qualified people. We've been accused of using interns for 32 years. I'd save a ton of money if we could use interns. Robert Stoner returned your nest. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to take it back to factory reset and not have it do the learning stuff, because the learning stuff just doesn't work for me. I'm just going to use it like a regular thermostat. What I love about it is when I'm sitting on the couch in the family room watching TV and I'm just too lazy to get up and adjust, I can do it remotely via my phone. Or if I'm out of town and realize when I get to the airport and I'm flying somewhere, oh crap, I forgot to turn off the air conditioner, I can turn it off on my phone. So that alone is worth it. Okay, the screener who returned this wrote, what I like most about this, I like the gentle feel of the supporting strings. I think you could improve the song by the dynamic swells in the piano are a bit much, especially for a single note part. For better realism, we could reduce the amount of dynamic fluctuation or fill out the part beyond the mostly single note patterns. I returned or forwarded the song because the other issue is the couple of spots where the string parts rubbed against each other pretty hard. Now, see, that's a guy who conducts an orchestra, creating dissonances that seem inconsistent with the rest of the cue. And then he gives times at 39 seconds in a minute 27. Performance, he checked off the box, says there are dissonance issues. So good job, you guys. Good job, screener. Pretty interesting, right? It is really good screener feedback. You know, it amazes me when People say to me, for years, 32 years, people say, oh, Taxi, they use interns, which means they didn't like the feedback they got. I think they wanted you to paste the entire text of the listing in, Liz, not just the listing number. I think. Okay. Okay, let's listen. Got a couple more here I can play. Now let's listen to one that is called. Where's the title? The title is called Hope. All right. Cast your votes. F for a forward, R for a return. I am curious to see if you guys agree with the screener, whose number, by the way, was 396. Somebody was guessing at the screener's number. I'm telling you, if you ever get feedback from 396, if you were to take a class with 396, you would be so blown away. I had that screener on TAXITV probably 3-4 years ago. Gosh, maybe even before COVID. Astonishing. I'm intimidated by how good he is, really. Have you ever had a screener present at the road rally? Yeah, absolutely. Tons of them. And when you say present, do you mean teach a class, be on a panel, one-to-one mentors? Because they do all that stuff. Yeah, we use quite a bit of screeners at the Road Rally. That's one reason people say, why don't you do it in Chicago or Dallas or New Jersey or wherever? It would be so hard for us to bring. Think about, we would have to buy somewhere close to 100 plane tickets, and that means 100 hotel room nights times 3 nights, so 300 hotel, tack on another 100 for staff the day before and the day after. Because LA is awesome. Not the traffic so much, not the super hot days so much. We had 7 forwards and 29 returns. Those of you who voted to return that one were in the majority and totally aligned. Look, I'm sitting here and the thermostat just went up to 73. I had it set down to 68. Must be 445. Yeah, 445 every day. I don't know why that happens. Wow. Okay, well, I'll fix that in a moment. Don't need to spend your valuable time dealing with my thermostat, right? Screener wrote, I like the piano writing in this one. There were some really cool parts to the piano in this. I would agree. I think you could improve the song by the string sounds need to be updated to be much more realistic. Samples are quite dated. I returned or forwarded this song because a natural organic sound is key for this listing. And he checked off a box under recording and production saying song, instrument sounds, or samples sound dated or of lower quality. Well, there you go. So those of you who return that one, you get an A in today's class. Now let's listen to a new one called, funny enough, New Beginnings. Actually, yeah, I'll play it. Here we go. All right, people are voting. It's obvious. Robert Stoner, you are in the minority again, Mr. Stoner. Even though we're not officially voting yet, this one was a return. It went in the wrong direction very, very quickly. That sound was, yeah, it did sound like a DX7 doing a very 80s vibe. It's a great keyboard sound, just not for this. It didn't sound uplifting. It sounded kind of weird and dark at times. Hill Street Blues. A lesser prog intro. Oh, a Triton, maybe. Anyway, you get the idea. Acoustic piano is your best bet for this listing. They're looking for natural organic sounds. It's pretty retro, not sounding like an actual piano, which is the main point of this listing. I was thinking Miami Vice Marion Laird says DX7. Who knows? All right. One more from that batch. Let's have a listen. This one is called Turn. right, cast your votes. F for a forward, R for return. Oh, stop. Man, I gotta practice that. Yes, I love the Walmart string samples. Deborah Offenhauser is sort of Downton Abbey-esque. I agree. I completely concur with you on that one. Zen Chief Engineer says he just waits for Robert Stoner to vote and then does the opposite. Now, be nice. See, Bradley Hoggins says he feels like I'm standing on a train platform awaiting my train out of Ukraine. That to me is uplifting and hopeful. The fact that you could imagine a scene that piece of music, and I like your description. 16 forwards, a little heart in the lower right hand corner blocks. I can't see how many returns. There we go, 22 returns. It was a forward. Let's see what the screener says. I actually like that one a lot. And I will admit with you that if you just were sticking only to the word uplifting, that it was not really uplifting. I didn't see it as negative or down feeling at all. But what I did see was that it was hopeful. It was like hopefully contemplative. That's all the big words I'm going to use today, I promise. Oh, man. Hopefully contemplative. Contemplatively hopeful. Yeah, thinking about it like, yeah, this could work out okay. I thought it was a beautiful piece. Andre is 6 for 6. Attaboy. Keep it up, Andre. My thermostat is definitely not 6 for 6. The whole time we're doing the show, by the way, I'm getting texts coming in from music library owners. And I can't read any of them. They're all like private. Apparently a couple of them are watching the show. Martin Frog agrees with me, had lots of emotion. Yay, library owners. Yep, they do watch the show. You'd be surprised who watches this show in secret. Sometimes I get emails like the day after going, hey, watched your show last night. Great show. I'm shocked. I'm happy. Okay, let us move on now. I guess I can take these out for the moment. Yeah, that last one was called New Beginnings. Think about it. Didn't it sound like that? Like you were waiting on the platform for the train to pick you up to leave Kiev and head over to like Poland or somewhere safer? There you go. All right. Done with that. Moving on. Okay, I'm going to put all this stuff on the floor so I don't mix it up with all my other paperwork that Liz so nicely made for me. So that's how much stuff it takes to pull one of these off. And yes, I recycle. I do. I'm kind of fanatical about recycling. Did you know that I recently, a couple of months or like 4 months ago, had dinner with a young couple? That one was called Turn O. Well, I got that wrong. Thanks for trashing me publicly and making me look foolish and inept. I appreciate that. Where was I? Yeah, I really don't need any help in that department, do I? Anyway, I found out, speaking of recycling, I found out that 80% of the glass we recycle never actually makes it to being recycled because it's green or bronze colored or the label glue didn't come off well enough or some other issue. And that 90% of the plastic never gets recycled. And I think of that every single time I go to the trouble of putting this bottle in there and that can in there and blah, 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 blah. Some people I know are starting a business that I can't tell you about because I don't think it's ever been done before. But it makes much better use of recycled glass than is currently being done. So yay. Yay for them. I hope that they succeed. Okay. Let me make some notes here so I don't mess things up because apparently I do. Almost done. Hang in there, guys. It keeps going to an eco setting. I just set it on 68. If you start to see little icicles coming out of my nostrils, you'll know that that is working. Okay, this one is a singer-songwriter job. Lots of acoustic-driven indie singer-songwriter songs about love with male or female vocals needed by a super active production music library with a lot of placements on major networks. Quite a few slow to mid-tempo songs with lyric themes that relate to romance or falling in love. Can be found on a playlist with Falling Like the Stars by James Arthur, Feel Alive Again by Molly Pardon, Make a Start by Plested. Gotta say, I do not know that artist. Excuse me. Quoting the company, currently searching for slow to mid-tempo songs for upcoming dating shows. Aha! Lyrics need to be romantic or relate to falling in love. Please submit original indie singer-songwriter songs that feature acoustic guitar and have lyrics that relate to love or romance. Your submission should have soft motifs, engaging rhythms, memorable melodies, solid arrangements, and well-crafted lyrics. Instrumentation that's acoustic-driven and in the general wheelhouse of the reference songs will work best. Oops, that should say general stylistic wheelhouse. Please make sure your productions are modern and that any virtual instruments or samples you use are high quality. Well-performed vocals will help you seal the deal. Lyrics should avoid references to specific names, dates, times, places, brands, and profanity. Okay. I'll read that a couple more times as we make our way through these. And the first one we're going to listen to is called Secrets.
There's nothing out there we need. No paradise in the streets. Ooh, I got your body next to me. We better stay in the sheets. We don't got no secrets, darling. Slide your hand over my heart. no secrets from you. I got no secrets, no secrets from you. Your work clothes in a heap, they're soft like the moon leaves. Ooh, I get your body next to me, comes with promises I keep. We don't got no secrets, darling. Not when you're this close to me. Slide your hand over my heart. What you hold is on me. I got no secrets, no secrets from you. Yeah, I got no secrets, no secrets from you. Oh, no secrets, no secrets from you. Oh, I got no secrets, no secrets from you. No secrets from you. No secrets from you.
All right. That was a little bit of an unusual ending, but not as unusual as whatever that pitch thing was. That was just some bad zeros and ones, I think, in the MP3. Anyway, cast your votes. F is a forward. R is a return. Bradley Hagen, I'm going to slap you on the back of the wrist for blurting out letters while the song is playing. Don't influence other voters. Or are you the kind of person that on November 5th will be standing in front of a ballot box wearing your choice for president's T-shirt going, vote for him, or her? I mean, forgot we've got a her this time. Sorry, dude. Another great screen. You know, all the screeners are great. Who am I kidding? Vote for Haagen-Dazs. I try so hard to stay away from the ice cream. I'm at an age where I've got to watch my refined sugar intake. 15 forwards. And how do I get rid of that stupid little heart down in the lower right-hand corner? Until somebody else posts something, I can't see how many returns because it's being blocked by a stupid little emoji thing. Somebody post anything just to make the thing scroll up. There we go. Thank you. I can't. Great. Anyway, 15 forwards, 27 returns. All right. Well, I'm frankly in shock. It was in fact a forward, and the screener on it, once again, somebody who if I had to pick one to go on the desert island with me and rely on their musical taste and their skill for film and TV stuff, all things songwriting, production, all that stuff, this screener would be extremely high on the list. So it was a forward. I liked it because it was, when you fall in love, you reveal secrets to the person that you fall in love with, especially early on in the relationship, right? It's like, man, I'm opening my... I once heard somebody, maybe on Dr. Phil, one of those shows like a long time ago, saying that when you're alone, you're single, or you just went through a bad breakup, bad relationship, that you build a brick wall. Imagine, I don't want an Adobe update. Man, I'm having a bad tech day. So you build up this wall, and then you see somebody who is physically attractive to you, and a few of the bricks tumble off the top of the wall. And then you start to get to know the person, and a few more bricks tumble off the wall, and it gets lower and lower, so they can start, you can see more of them, they can see more of you. And then when you are falling in love, all the bricks tumble and you open up and you tell your deepest, darkest secrets. That's what I took this song to mean. And I went, wow, that's a pretty fresh take on romance and falling in love. So I personally liked it. Yeah, it was a forward. Let's see what the screener said. What I like most about this song, I like the lyric, hook idea, and production work in this track. I agree. Good to go for this request. Return to forwarded this song because just simply the word forward with an exclamation point. So yay. For those of you who forwarded that, good job, because I would have forwarded it and you agree with me, and that's really what's important, right? I'm kidding. Probably about 7, 8, 9 years ago, I did a 4-hour shift of screening just to see how my screening chops were. Hadn't done it, and I screened a lot, like every day, 7 days a week, probably for the first 3 years of Taxi's existence, from 92, 93, 94, and then around the middle, around 95, 96, 97, I was down to a couple of shifts a week. Probably by the time we got to 1998, 99, no more screening. But it's something I wish I had time to do it a little more often just to stay in the mix. But I do listen to a lot of stuff here. Let's see, any comments from you guys immediately connected with this track and prematurely gave it an F. Sorry, man. It's okay, dude. Christoph Scott, going to bed? Good night. How dare you, in the middle of an episode of Taxi TV, the greatest TV show ever made, with the highest production values and the smallest budget you've ever seen, that show. All right, let's listen to another one. This one is called Sharp as a Broken Bottle. Oh, I want to address something. Bradley Hagen said, because the listing says if you use samples, make sure they sound really good. He said for an acoustic song, it said acoustic-driven, meaning that the acoustic guitar is the main thing. It's not a piano. It's not something else. It's an acoustic guitar. So there you go. So yeah, you could use hand drum samples. You could use string samples. Whatever.
Not tough enough for my woman, don't make enough dough. She's sharp as a broken bottle, but I do love her so. She looks good on my arm when we go stepping out. She's a hot bombshell, that ain't what it's about. She scares me half to death. When she's kind, she's the best. What a thrilling life, I really do feel blessed. woman is a wild ride, a scary landslide. She's sharp as a broken bottle, so much fun I just don't mind. We seem to have a balance, but you just never know. An imposing, wicked intellect, a wonder to behold. She scares me half to death. When she's kind, she's the best. What a thrilling life, I really do feel blessed. Living moment to moment without regrets. She's sharp as a broken bottle, health food and cigarettes. She makes me feel good, gives me a reason to dance. There's nothing in this world like our romance. She scares me half to death. When she's kind, she's the best. What a thrilling life, I really do feel blessed. She scares me half to death. When she's kind, she's the best. What a thrilling life, I really do feel blessed.
Okay, F for forward, R for return. Man, I was reading the lyrics and listening, obviously, and I couldn't help but remember a year-long relationship I once had. I think we've all had the one that we regret, that while you're in the relationship, it's like emotionally passionate, exciting, but there's a downside. You know what I mean? What do they call that? Bipolar. That's what I'm trying to describe. Bipolar. And the funny thing is, that would have taken place in 1988, 89. And I was in the Munich, Germany airport last February. And about 50 feet away, I saw that lady, and I guess her husband. We were in our 30s at the time, and now we're not in our 30s anymore. I saw her from a good, safe distance, let's say. It wasn't pretty when it ended. So I really related to this and thought that it was quite cute. Sharp as a broken bottle. She scares me half to death. But when she's kind, she's the best. Yeah. Glad I was safe. Thanks, Marion. One forward, 28 returns. Okay, those of you who voted for a return, you are correct. This was a return. The screener said it just simply didn't fit the listing. It's not singer-songwriter style. Some people would say, well, I am a singer and I wrote the song, but it's not the style. It had nothing to do with the refs. So there you go. Felt like a country song, more Americana. Yeah, it definitely wasn't singer-songwriter. All right, moving forward. This one is called Butterflies and Rainbows. Aw, it sounds like a unicorn love song.
Some days I find it hard to get by. I'm off guard, but you hold my hand and calm me down. Help me breathe, I won't let me drown. You kiss me like a downpour, and wash away my tears. You sail me to a safe shore, and I no longer fear facing the storm.
Family members of the person who wrote the song, please stop putting it. We're not saying forward or return until it's over, because you may influence the vote of other people. And you haven't heard enough of it to be sure. That's why I know you're family members, damn it. Go back to your room.
'Cause you're my anchor, butterflies and rainbows. And then you say, I accept you as you are. And just like that, your lips grace my scars. 'Cause when you say, I don't have to hide, everything is just fine. I am safe now. Hope seems lost and I'm stuck. I go soft out of love, but you stroke my hair, I close my eyes. You give me faith and take me to the sky. You kiss me like a downpour and wash away my tears. You sail me to a safe shore, and I no longer fear facing the storm alone. 'Cause you're my anchor, butterflies and rainbow. And then you say, I accept you as you are. And just like that, your lips grace my scars. 'Cause when you say, I don't have to hide, everything is just fine. You kiss me like a downpour and wash away my tears. You sail me to a safe shore, and I no longer fear facing the storm alone. 'Cause you're my anchor, butterflies and rainbow. I am safe now.
All right, cast your votes. Forward is an F, R is a return. And those of you who are voting early are going to be disqualified the next time you do that. It's like, what did my mother used to always say? Oh, if your best friend jumped off a roof, would you jump too? It's like, yeah, as soon as somebody jumps in early, other people follow. Keith Sumner, haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you back. It's funny, different people are voting for this versus who voted for the instrumental. Crowd mentality, yep. By the way, have I ever told you guys, I think maybe I did, the studio behind me, that's Studio A at Criteria Studios in Miami, where I started my career, and still have a passionate love affair for that place. That's not how I meant to say that. I still hold it deeply in my heart because it gave me my start. That is the room where the Allman Brothers did the Eat a Peach album. Firefall, You Are the Woman. In that room, many hits. James Brown in that room. I've literally spent, I don't know, 2,000-3,000 hours easily on sessions in that room alone. 8 forwards, 20 returns. Those of you who voted return, We're in agreement with the screener. That room is magic. Okay, let's see what the screener said. The screener said, what I like most about this song is I appreciate the emotional vocal performance. I returned or forward it because melody, lyric, and presentation could benefit from further development. I felt that. You might consider revisiting the melodies to help strengthen the sections and the hooks. Fleshing out the presentation a bit more is a thought to help you elevate the track. I liked her voice. I liked the emotion, the sincerity, the thought behind it. I kept searching. The hook just didn't pop out for me. If somebody, put a gun to my head and said, sing it or you die, my brains would be splattered all over that wall. Well, I was with somebody the other day and I made that reference. Am I the only person in the world that's ever heard that expression, if somebody put a gun to my head? When I said this, all these people were like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. It's so violent. It's like, I thought that was a common expression. Maybe just where I grew up in the Midwest. It's a sync track. How much of a hook does it really need? It doesn't need, I just found this didn't have a hook. I kept trying to think, man, if I hit stop right now, and somebody asked me to sing back any part of it, I just couldn't. Marion Laird says it used to be a common expression. Oh, did somebody turn off the switch on that one and nobody told me? Peaches Cranko says it is a common expression. Thank you, Peaches. Apparently we went to the same school. Don't say that on Facebook. You'll be in jail for a week. Yeah. Oh, don't even get me going there. Okay. Now let's listen to... this one is called Wish.
I wish for love, and I got you. I wish for care, and I got that too. I wish for a home with a view of the sea and a big bed for you and me. So read my lips, darling. Watch how they move. I come alive when I think of you. Put it in song. What I say is true. I closed my eyes and I wished for you. I wished for some sun to shine its way through. I wished for a rose in full bloom. I wish for a girl, one I can call my own. She'd hold my hand and kiss me through the phone. So hear what I'm saying, I closed my eyes. I closed my eyes, and I wished for you.
All right, I'm not even going to take a vote on that one. Number one, because it was just so incredibly good that it was obvious. Really, really perfect for the listing. Everybody's voting anyway. All right, throw your Fs in there. Wow. Like perfectly nailed the brief, as they say. I can't imagine this wouldn't get forwarded by a library, and I can't imagine that this wouldn't. I mean, come on. Any romantic, rom-com movie, there's a breakup, they get back together, they run into each other, they fall in love all over again. Wow. You could use that thing all day long. Jeff Robinson. You wouldn't be the same Jeff Robinson that used to be an assistant engineer at a studio I can't remember the name of in Burbank, where the theme song for the TV show Friends was recorded. Are you? I actually engineered and produced 3 or 4 rhythm tracks for a taxi member at that studio. Jeff says, no, I wish. There was a studio where they recorded the theme song to Friends. I can't remember the name of it, in Burbank. And a taxi member got signed to a development deal at DreamWorks. And when they asked him, he asked me to go along to DreamWorks for the meeting. And when they asked him, who would you like to produce? He pointed at me and I went, whoa. I'd done some demos with him just because I really liked his stuff and did some stuff in his apartment in San Francisco. Anyway, Jeff Robinson was the assistant engineer on the gig and he was excellent. So I was hoping you were the same guy. Okay, let's listen to 1 or 2 more. We're pretty much out of time, but what the heck, we'll go a couple minutes over. All right, this one is called I'd Give Anything.
If I could go back in time to when I first heard your name, I'd look deep in your eyes so I wouldn't miss a single thing. Some love is built to last, 2 perfect pieces in place. Was I moving too fast to see you slipping away? I wish that I could rewrite history and make us happier in the end. I'm stuck here holding on to memories of how we used to be more than friends. I wish that I could rewrite history and change how this story ends. I'd give anything to start all over again. I'd give anything. Thought I saw you in line at the store the other day. Might have just been in my mind, but it doesn't matter anyway. I wish that I could rewrite history and make us happier in the end. I'm stuck here holding on to memories of how we used to be more than friends. I wish that I could rewrite history and change how this story ends. I'd give anything to start all over again. I'd give anything. Rewrite history and change how this story ends. I'd give anything to to start all over again. I'd give anything to start all over again. I'd give anything.
F for forward, R for return, and we've got time for one more if you vote quickly. And while you're voting, I will reread that listing for you. Lots of acoustic-driven indie singer-songwriter songs about love with male or female vocals needed by a super active production music library with lots of placements on major networks. I know who that library is. They get a crap ton of really just constantly getting placements. Let's see, slow to mid-tempo songs, feature acoustic guitar and have lyrics that relate to love or romance. Submissions should have soft motifs, engaging rhythms, memorable melodies, solid arrangements, and well-crafted lyrics. Instrumentation that's acoustic-driven and in the general wheelhouse of the reference songs will work best. Please make sure your productions are modern, that any virtual instruments or samples you use are high quality. By the way, when they say on singer-songwriter, make sure that your productions are modern. A lot of people who are in my age category and grew up with like Elton John, James Taylor, tend to still submit stuff that sounds great, but it sounds like it's from that 70s period. So it's the little things. You know, Ed Sheeran is such a great guidepost to hear how somebody that, I mean, he's kind of wide-ranging, or has become a little wide-ranging later in his career. But when he does singer-songwriter stuff, I'd say that's a great representation of what a modern singer-songwriter sounds like versus, you know, James Taylor, Carole King, Elton John. 31 forwards, 4 returns. That was most definitely a forward. So, yeah, you guys got it right. Let's listen to one more, okay? If you don't mind, we'll go over a couple more minutes here. This one is called Our Garden. Jackson Browne.
Love is just like a tree branch. Some folks are just scared of heights. Don't cut yourself down to meet them. Wait for one who cares enough to climb. We've been waiting in this garden, waiting for so long, so long. And this world makes soft hearts harden. So promise me you'll stay strong. Feel your hair blowing in the breeze.
That's a long ring out. That was a forward. You guys knew that. And I was reading the comments and just going, wow, you guys, I agree with so much of what was said, but it took me back to my often told story about Barry Gibb from the Bee Gees, and I ran into him in the hallway at Criteria at that studio back in 1975, 76, and said, Barry, I was a naive, young, new person in the industry. How do you write a hit song, Barry? And he looked at me like, you foolish kid. And he just said one word, emotion. Emotion, mate. And he walked away. The intimacy in the vocal and the way that it works with the lyric, her delivery. I was almost disappointed when the male vocal came in, but it worked so well that I became undisappointed. Thought it was really good. It's such a great example, and people are throwing out, I wish the guitar had done this, I wish I had more of that or less of this. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And I always had to remind myself of that when I was sitting, not so much in the engineer's chair, but in the producer's chair, that you can hear a million things. And if you've got the luxury of time and expense is not an issue, then try them all. It's just hard stripping them away. Once you put something in, your mind kind of marries itself to that thing. And then when you take it out, it doesn't sound good without it, although it may have sounded great without it before you put it in. So it's a very dangerous step to take. And sometimes being a good producer, I believe, is knowing just how incredibly simple something should be. And to me, because her voice was so pretty and it was so perfect for the lyric, that I personally, as a producer, would have fought a little war inside of myself to keep adding stuff. I would have almost done this a cappella. And I would have had her, believe it or not, like an inch closer. I would have had her like right there to that microphone. It sounds like when she got into the chorus, like she was a little further back from the microphone because she was louder, maybe had good mic technique and pulled back. I would have definitely put a nylon stocking type pop filter on there and gotten her right up to that microphone. She was pretty close on the verse lyric, but man, wow, goosebumps. Anyway, this was fun, you guys. Please give Taxi some low. I think Marion meant love. Yeah, hit subscribe. Oh my goodness, did I even pull out I'll be back in a second. I don't even know if I've got something booked for next week. Oh, here it is. It's buried under a pile of paper. I don't think I have anything booked for next week. Oh, actually I do. Next week, we'll do some other stuff as well. But next week, I sent out an email to everybody who's been to the last couple of road rallies and said, do me a favor and send in a 30 to 45 second. I know that seems short, but we're going to run these on TikTok and Instagram. There's so many people that just don't understand how incredibly good the road rally is, and I really want them to come. So I thought hearing from some of you folks would encourage them. So check your email box, read the email, and next week I'm gonna have the staff pick some that they think are strong contenders, and then we're gonna play them on the show, and whoever you guys pick is going to get $200 towards their airfare to this year's road rally. And that's it. So thank you. Tim Harrison, love the show tonight. Thanks. I love doing these. I really do. Yeah, after a couple episodes of AI stuff, this was a pleasure, right? And God, heartbreaking. One of the panelists that I really wanted, the first 2 hours of the road rally this year in the Grand Ballroom, instead of having a single keynote speaker or interviewee, I'm putting together like this really good panel of people to talk about AI, every different angle of it we can think of. It needs to be addressed, and I think so many people are stressed out by it that I want to stop the stress and take a very realistic overview. A lot of people don't even really understand what AI is. They think it's just this, you push a magical button and a song comes out, and it's kind of true, but you have to, the better the prompt, the better the thing is that it spits out. But there are all kinds of ramifications, and I just reached out to a friend of mine a couple hours before I started the show, who is vice president of music at, I want to say, Warner, which owns CNN, and he understands copyright legality, and he's a musician, and he's a taxi member. So I'm going to see if I can get him to fly in from. Sorry, I got distracted by the chat. I wanted to say I want him to fly in to be on this panel. I think that he will know, because you know what? All this stuff, it doesn't matter if it makes music that's 100% as good as what you do. There is not a TV network that's going to use it, or a major motion picture, until the Copyright Office says, okay, networks, it's copyrightable, and it's not going to be for a while. So there's that. And that's just one of many angles. Peaches. Now, I didn't say 25% of the Westin rooms are gone. I said 25. We're already 25% to last year's number of attendees inside the first 2 weeks. And that's it. They took the room that we use for the zigzag line at the Westin and turned it into an indoor golf center. So maybe we'll have some late night golfing at the rally this year. Anyway, yes, book your hotel reservations. You can find it on the taxi.com/rally page. The name of the song and the artist on that one, please. Edmund, I'm so sorry, but I can't give it out, because if I do it for one, I got to do it for everybody. I think that, yeah, I just can't. I'm so sorry. I wish I could. She's got the voice of an angel and the sincerity that makes the song come alive. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Liz, for preparing all this paperwork. And I will see you guys next week for another exciting episode of Taxi TV Live.